Hello guys, this is Rattue 498 and this is a 1v1 commentary battle on Napoleon Total War. And I am Christmas Eggnog. And I have an opponent. And I am going to be playing as Denmark. And here's my army. I have got 4 Lifeguard of foot. I've got 3 Lifeguard of horse. I've got 2 militia. I've got 5 line. And I've got 1 Jaeger unit and general staff. So basically I've got all 4 of my foot guard on the right, and I've got my 3 Lifeguard of horse on the right as well, with a militia and my Jaeger in front. On my left I've got 1 militia in front, I've got my 5 line behind and 2 light dragoons over there as well. So my opponent's playing as France. He's got an extended line. He thinks it's okay to protect his lights with just cav. Just like I'd say everyone, it's not okay to protect your lights with just cav. Always put a line behind them, keep them safe. If you don't do that, then you'll find you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble. One very decent cav charge and all your lights will disappear. So what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to attack where I'm at my strongest, which is on this flank, which is my Lifeguard of foot and my Lifeguard of horse. And as you can see, my opponent's moving away. And basically we're going to play a little bit of cat and mouse for quite some time, so I skip it on and skip it on again. So here, as we can see, he's moved the right way around, and now he's moving his lights around as well. He's trying to keep away from my strongest area. So here's my opponent's light units as they're moving along. I believe they're chasseurs. And he's still got no line protection behind them. But as you can see now, he's kind of switching all his forces round, and he keeps switching them round and round and round. As you can see there, if you have a look at the mini-map, we're kind of going sideways to each other now. He's trying to keep away from my forces best as he can, and I'm trying to keep away from his right flank as best as I can. So we're just kind of cat and mousing at the moment. But in a minute my opponent's going to make a mistake. What he does is, instead of focusing his lights on my other flank, he brings them across to this flank. So this is going to be his fatal mistake. So here, as you can see now, my militia and my Jaegers are just moving up. My opponent sends a cav charge in to try and get rid of, I think it was my Jaegers he was going for, but they kind of get stuck onto my militia. I just order all my lines to stop moving, and I just wait for them to get into range. And they do get into range, and as you can see there, a lot of horses are falling. And that's my lines just giving off a couple of volleys into them. So these are Polish Guard Lancers, very expensive unit. It was a waste him doing that, but I think he wanted to get rid of the range on my Jaegers. So now, anyway, we can see the Polish Guard Lancers have come behind his lines now, and there's a great big clump of these lovely chasseurs just sitting here doing a whole lot of nothing. And basically these guys are just perfect targets for a good cav charge. So I've got my militia and my Jaegers up front, and at the moment these guys are shooting at my militia, which really is doing no damage to me at all. The militia are very expendable. I put a couple of chevrons on them just to make them last a little bit longer. As you can see now, he's moved his lines up. My Jaegers have started firing, and my cav, I've ordered my cav through. On this flank, as you can see, it's just a standoff. I'm going to reposition my lines down a little bit more in a second. So these are my Lifeguard of horse. These guys are excellent in melee, so they'll be able to do a great deal of damage to these guys. So I've got 3 units of the Lifeguard of horse going through there, and I've moved 2 of my Lifeguard of foot up to get in shooting range as well. See, what I want is realistically him to counter-charge my cav with his cav. If he does that, he's going to sandwich up his chasseurs, which is going to double their casualties on the charge. So he sent 1 or 2 of his horse in there, you see, and as you can see, it's just a load of dead chasseurs all over the floor. Now I've pulled across my 2 light dragoons, and they're coming in to attack now as well. So they're going in there. So I had 5 cav units charge in there, with 2 Lifeguard of foot behind. These elites give off a certain amount of experience as well, so they will boost their morale. And here's another cav unit coming in from my opponent, which, as I say, is exactly what I want. I want him to sandwich his own guys. so the more cav charges he performs on me, the better. I've switched targets now and I've gone into one of his line units. The line unit ran away and tried to reform. And there's more cav out the back, so he's going to send another one in. You can see it's just so unit got away. But these Lifeguard horse will last for a very long time. They're an excellent unit. I find that the Netherlands heavy horse and the Denmark heavy horse are actually extremely good at hanging around and causing a huge amount of disturbance. Against other cav they're not the greatest, but they cause a lot of disturbance, which is what you're looking to do. So as you can see now, just running up the line now. In a second I should move my other Lifeguard a foot forward. And these guys are just going to get completely destroyed. Basically this is just a case of just attack where you're strongest and try and avoid any confrontation which you're not sure of winning. On this side, all my elites were over here. I had 7 elite units over this side. So he's got an old guard over here, but there's still very little chance of him being able to survive this. Over on the other side he's got a young guard and a couple of other decent units, and I think he's got 3 or 4 Polish over the other side as well, which realistically would have done a great job against my lines over there. The Denmark lines are crap, apart from their elites. So here are his chasseurs all reformed, so I'm just going to whack my cav straight back into them again. No support for these guys again, seriously. Get some support behind your lights. There's no point having them if you're not going to use them correctly, because they will just get eaten up and they're quite an expensive unit. So get some lines behind them. Even shoot a cav in my opinion is no good at doing it, as they don't fire a good enough volley and they don't form a square to stop you actually hitting them. So you do need some decent lines behind. Over on that side was his old guard and another unit, I believe it might have been a young guard or a Polish. Over on this flank he moved forward. I'm just pulling back. I can see I've won the battle on the right hand side. There's no reason for me to want to engage on the left. As soon as these units are wrapped up, then we'll just try and encircle the rest of his units rather than have to try and fight them on a one-on-one basis. Because as I say, these Denmark lines are really crap. So this is the chasseurs that are left, and I've managed to pull them now into melee. So they're going to go in melee my Lifeguard horse, although I don't have many men left for them. I think about 16, maybe less, so it wouldn't take long. But with the Lifeguard horse now managed to kill off his general, so they've done an excellent job. They'll all be going home with a cookie. Or not going home, as the case may be. And here's the rest of his lines. He's now trying to reform a line up to face my attack that's just basically wiped through his right flank. So he's now having to reform a line to fight against this side as well. So this is where I'm going to start moving up my other units, and we're going to try and box him in. So as you can see now, he's got an old guard unit. I believe this is the old guard unit, it may not be. Over here, left, fighting, but I've still got my Lifeguard afoot. And I've still got all these lines at the top of the screen. All 4 of my Lifeguard afoot still left. And I haven't even moved my general. Yeah, he's still right at the back. So he'll be coming up shortly as well. So as you can see, he's got a few units left scattered around the place. But basically I've managed to split and kind of separate units from each other, which is what you really want to do. You don't ever want to really fight a one-on-one basis, line on line, especially not if you're playing a superior nation with France like that. So I don't want to be doing that. This is my militia unit, I believe. So they're just going to stand there and they're going to be quite happy getting shot up. Well, not happy, but they're going to get shot up, and they do the job nicely of just holding these guys up till my Lifeguard afoot can come around and flank. So as you can see, my lines and my militia from the other side are now pulling up behind. So these guys are now going to have to turn to face them. Down here I've moved up to my Lifeguard afoot, and my general I believe has come up as well now, and they're just finishing off the units over there.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest away.
The other unit which I was fighting at the top of the screen, as you can see, is now routed. So now it's just a case of boxing this guy in. So I'm going to do a top angle and show you how I basically box him in. So as you can see, I've got units basically all the way around him. If you're getting units behind and in front, it does a huge morale shock as well. So realistically, that's what you want to do. Just zooming on the Polish here, it's Polish Legion. Fire enough. If that was me, I would have run away a long time ago, but hey ho. And here's my general. I'm actually hoping he squares. I really don't want my general to have to engage, but he don't square. So my general actually ends up having to hit them. I didn't want that because I'm going to be shooting at my own general then basically, and you want to try and keep him away from the battle as best as possible. But if you have a look at the minimap now, you can see basically just an encirclement around this guy, and he's got nowhere to go. You can see Denmark units all around him. And he's just got nowhere to go. I believe he resorted into going for melee with one of his units, but it was into a lifeguard of foot, so really he stood no chance at all. But this battle's pretty much over. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Please rate, comment and subscribe. And check out my other videos on Shogun and the other Napoleon videos. Also check out my other channels list. And everyone go to www.gamedecider.com and register there for other videos of people and loads of game chat and stuff like that. So I'll see you later on, guys. Thank you very much and goodbye.